Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in again. Welcome to Angie's Talk Show. We are so glad that you are here. Thank you for your continued support, and thank you for always being with us. Today is such a very special day. I'm really honored and proud to introduce you to one of the people that I really admire. And he is an immigrant like me. So that's why we can learn a lot tonight. Before going there, though, I'm going to tell you a little bit why we're doing what we're doing. While this Angie's Talk Show is all about branding, we will bring out the brand, introduce you to our viewers, and at the same time, you're going to give them such an amazing possibilities of helping people elevate their lives. So you're going to add value to them. You are going to help them out in order for them to move forward in life. So that's why Angie's Talk Show is here for you and with you. Another thing is we want to help small businesses out there and who are thriving to do their best to get into the unexpected and very hard times right now. And now that they are helping each other also to we need to help them, especially local businesses, so that we can contribute into their business at the same time. So again, guys, this talk show is free for everybody. If you are here, thank you and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So today I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful person. Francis is here with us tonight. A wonderful evening for a guy that emigrated to Canada, did everything he can in order to have the success that he wants. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Francis, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming and joining me tonight. A lot of our viewers are going to be enjoying this talk show and this interview. And to all our viewers, thank you for being here. And you enjoy because I know that Francis will take you to a wonderful journey of his life. So, again, Francis, tell us a little bit about you.
All right. Thank you, Angie. Very good evening to all our viewers. And thanks, Angie, to you for having me over. I think you're a superstar, Angie. You are kind of a catalyst who helps people get out there, helps people in need, helps them get what they want in their lives. It is the same thing with me as well. To begin with, I hope everyone's family is keeping safe with this current pandemic, which has swamped us over. I think definitely there is light at the end of the tunnel. We are very close, so please don't lose hope on that regard. Talking about myself, humble, hardworking, and jovial is how I can describe myself in a nutshell. Just like everyone else, I'm the first generation immigrant from Mumbai, India. It's one of thriving cities. Of course, when you call about thriving in a third world country, there's a lot of poverty as well. So that's the way we grew up as well, with less than $400 income my father had, and we had to make things happen. Life taught us practical lessons. Life taught us great thing about budgeting, and life taught us not to waste. Find ways to reuse things, and we got those concepts, and we were so honored, and we're so glad that we got into this beautiful country, Canada. It's been 10 long years in Canada, and especially 7 years in Calgary. The people have been humble. I personally feel there's a lot of opportunities here, but all we have to do is we need to grasp it. Well, I did my bachelor's in hospitality from Mumbai and then graduated doing my master's in business administration. I did come to Canada, and it was time to upgrade our skills, because a lot of time we do think that we are pretty qualified back home, and we come here and we don't want to, or else probably you get to that age where you think education is not that important. But trust me, guys, there's no shortcuts to life. You have to be on par with the Canadian education system. So I did my couple of management courses here, and just during the pandemic, I got my project management professional certificate, which gave me an edge to look at how the world operates in a different way, especially North America. Life has been very hard. As for any immigrants, I started off doing odd jobs from a dishwasher to janitor. I've done it all, and I was so happy to get this opportunity to work with the biggest catering company in the world and work through my ranks and got through a senior leadership position. Once again, there were no shortcuts to my success. It was just my hard work and just my dedication to get to that next level. And today, whoever I am, I thank my family for all their support. I thank my friends who were my extended family, because when we immigrated to Canada, it was just our family, three of us. My daughter always complains we don't have Thanksgiving, we don't have relatives, we don't have grandparents here to support. But what I tell them is we've got friends here. All you need to do is open yourself. And once you open yourself and your minds, the world opens its doors to you. All we did is go to the church and network, and then people actually making friends with us was a byproduct. And lastly, we live in a beautiful community of Evanston in Northwest Calgary, and we love what we do. We love our city.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, this is what I love about what I do. Every single time I have always a different different guest, and it's so amazing that sometimes you find a lot of people wherein said, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe who I can meet and who I can bring in." And you are just the same with my last guest, attorney Henry Villanueva, have told also his own story from being a janitor, from working. So I said it's so true that it's not where you came from. I know we also have our own degrees back home. But in Canada, we don't have no paper. So we need to start all over again. And for those people who got the bone, who got really the strength to go through all those things, will have the result. And so it's not who you are, where you came from, it's who you want to become. And these are the results that we are getting. It's so amazing that to hear those stories, it's so inspiring. And hopefully, our viewers will see the hope at the end of the tunnel that whatever and however life treats you, there is always hope and faith. If you believe in yourself and if you believe that you deserve better, go for it. Look at Francis and how he did it. So imagine that. Maybe what are the thoughts coming in your mind when it's like you being a janitor and I have a degree back home? Like, I want to go back home. I can feel the same. So that's exactly what it is. So thank you and congratulations for all your accomplishment. But first off, I want to say hello to our viewers. Once again, I we have Rod Quintinita from all the way from Australia. Hello to you and thank you for supporting us, Rod. And also to Antoinette. And thank you, Gustavo. Gustavo, I had a wonderful, wonderful time, being with him, being a friend, and introducing me to you, Francis. Without Gustavo, I'll never have a chance to meet you. So thank you, Gustavo. Thank you for all your support and for all your love. And also, hello to Johnny. Thank you, Johnny, for watching. So another thing in here, guys, is that's very, very interesting is we all come here as immigrant, and what we do in the community, in the country that we get into matters. So let's go ahead and ask Francis on what he does. And that's why I came out with this wonderful the quote that I've been really wanting. Until you serve others, you will never say that you are living without serving and making a difference in other people's lives. So now I'm talking about Francis, and he will tell us what are the things he loved doing nowadays.
Well, thanks, Angie, again. Well, this whole circle of life is about give and take and living in harmony with each other. But we should always remember that before taking something and expecting something from the world, we should learn how to give. The more you give, the more people know who you are, what have you done towards the society. Getting successful is just a byproduct of the same. What I love doing is, and I'm passionate about, is volunteering and giving back to the community. So as I came in here, I joined the Ascension Parish, which is a local parish in Calgary, and I helped a lot of immigrants, just like me, who were struggling to make ends meet, who were looking for basic services such as accommodation, such as a job, such as where to get connected. Then I started working with the food bank and delivering food to the hungry and the vulnerable all over Calgary. Uh, I also got a chance to work with the Immigrant Society and helping newcomers. And that gave me a different outlook in life because I went through all these problems. And the only thing, because I could come out of all these situations, was my positivity, having a positive attitude. And that's what I give it to these people is learn to be positive. A lot of times we get negative in life and we get sucked up with this whole things. And trust me, people have this preconceived notion that this is a land which is built by some people, and I don't want to mention any names, and we are second or third class citizens. Trust me, that's really untrue. Canada gives us an equal opportunity. Yes, you might feel a little bit of racism at times, you might feel a little bit of dejected at times, but keep doing what you are, and you are on par with everybody else as you would be back in your own country, because this is a land of immigrants and everyone deserves that opportunity, and Canada gives you one of those.
So what you're saying is you need to adapt, fit in, and do what you can to contribute to the growth of the community, into the society, and to the country itself.
Absolutely, yep, that's what giving is all about.
Yes. So we all have that fair playing game, like that is given to us, and how we play the game is totally up to us. Would you agree?
Absolutely, it is a level playing field.
Yes, level playing field. So with all the things that you've been doing, what are you noticing? Do you notice some when you go with other people and you volunteer, can you see other people, or do you feel other people treat you different way?
Well, you don't feel anything like that, you don't see anything, but yes, deep inside you do understand that because again, the background which we come from, that we are second class citizens, but trust me, it's just a preconceived notion. It's just up here in your
Mm-hmm.
mind, and you keep thinking that this is how people think about it. But when you actually adapt to the culture, when you actually sit with those people, you do realize that they treat you like one of them. There is
Mm-hmm.
great dignity of labor within the Canadian society. So even when I was a janitor and a dishwasher, I did get a chance to sit alongside my CEO, and so do I get it at the same time. So it's not what you do matters here. It's the dignity and the privilege we take in doing those jobs.
And sometimes, it's in our head on what we are thinking. It's not actually, the other people will not do that way if you know how to treat other people the way the way you want to be treated. So that's why you're right. I mean, if there's a lot of people will say, oh, there are very like they're discriminating or something like that. Like maybe that's what you are thinking, but actually they're not, like, just go and fit in. But a lot of people, that's why I am so fascinated on how people are so different, which is awesome, because if you are all the same, it's going to be boring. So we just need to find our way in, and when you get in, you will always need to adapt into that group, into that society that you are in. So which is amazing, because this is an very essential on knowing how to adapt is very essential on our growth. So what is the importance of knowing how to adapt in the success of immigrants like us, Francis?
Well, Angie, it's very critical that we teach people about our culture. A lot of people do not understand that. They believe that we come from a third world country. They think that we don't speak English, and they feel that we are very shy and not outspoken. Like I come from India, and within India, there are people from various walks of life. Same with the people from the Filipino community. There is people from the north, south, east, west, and cultures very big time. So when you sit with people, I strongly feel that you should tell them where you come from, what your culture is like, and how your culture actually helps people integrate into the Canadian system. And once you learn about the Canadian culture, once you get them know about your culture, it works very seamlessly. Trust me. And once people know who you are, what your background is, and they get more educated, they embrace your culture. That's what I have seen. But we fail to recognize this. We fail to educate people about our culture, and we just stay quiet most of the time. So that's what I think is the major problem here.
That's the problem. We stay quiet all the time. We don't express ourselves, but we're good in complaining.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When it comes to complaints, people love to complain about
Yeah,
things, but they do not come up with solutions.
yeah, we love to find a way to complain, and a lot of people sometimes they stay quiet when it's time to talk, but when it's not time to talk, they'll find a way to complain, and they will always look for some things to complain about. So I mean, no offense for anyone, but you need to speak your mind, and speak your heart, like what do you think, and you don't know until, like, oh, but they don't listen to me. This is what I find out most of the time. But they don't listen to me, Angie. Like, did you try? I said no, because they might not listen to me. So how do you know they won't listen to you? So it's always important to really know how to adapt and speak your mind, and at the same time speak your heart. Whatever it is that you're feeling, and whatever you are thinking, as long as you're not going to hurt other people, like in the way you say it, you're gonna be good. You can never say anything wrong if you say it in a nice way. So that's why I remind a lot of people, it's not what you say, dude, it's how you say it. They will accept it. It's just how you say it. So that's why it's very important that they know that too as well. Well, it's really nice to be hearing this from you, because yeah, I'm from the Philippines, you're from India. We're all like the same immigrant. We have our own culture. You have your own culture, but at the same time, I want to really, I want to really hear it from you. What are the difference of all the people that you're seeing, especially in your community? Are the people supporting each other? Are they helping each other? Are they pushing it up each other? Or how do you see your community? Like, I mean, I don't want to steer any misunderstanding here, but I just want to know on how, when it comes to building businesses, for example. I know you have a lot of great supporters behind you, pushing you to say, like, do what you want to do and do what you need to do, right? So, how does your community approach some people like you who are thriving to get things done? Like, how strong is the support behind?
Well, again, it depends from people to people. But what I see is I would only like to associate with people who are positive. It's the way you want to look. Very widely spoken, it's called the crab syndrome. You keep crabs in a little bowl, and what you see is one crab tries to climb up there. The other crab will pull it down, and it makes sure that no crab escapes the bowl. So what to do there is not be a victim, think different, and do not associate with those crabs who would like to pull you down. Look at the positive side of it. The world is an open market, and anyone can thrive if they want to. All you need to do is have that dedication, family support, and very importantly is faith and being spiritual. That's something which is one of my probably things towards success.
That's right. A lot of times, there are so many people who will only see, okay, you and in your heart, you want to give it your best to do the things right. And everything that you're doing deep in your heart, it's right. But you know what, guys? This is what I can tell you. It doesn't matter if you have done everything right in your heart, okay? In everything, in your own ability. People actually don't see those things. Sometimes all they see is the one mistake that you have done. So that's okay. Like Francis said, those people who are just looking for ways to judge you or comment on one wrong thing that you have done, and even though you didn't intentionally do it, those are not the right people anyways. They're just 1% of the population. Go talk to the 99% of population who can you can align. And that is so true. Align yourself or be around with people who are always wanting to see you succeed, and you do the same to them. Boost each other's up. And sometimes it's so hard because a lot of people said, Angie, because like, no, you can only truly live your life um fully and meaningfully if you make a difference in other people's lives. Not making a difference in a bad way, but making a difference in a good way. So be sure that you're going to do in a good way. It's not like making a difference in a bad way. So, anyways, that is very important. So, you mentioned about volunteering in these different charities or organizations, and you're always there for them. What can you do to people to help them out, to really guide them like, for example, the people who are in need, especially now it's very uncertain. What can you advise to these people who are really needing the help?
Well, even in this world of uncertainty, I think people need more help. And it so happens that a lot of people have gone hibernating and volunteer activities have come to a standstill, which means the vulnerable are left on their own or left to die. I don't see it that way. And all I do is encourage people to still come out. We can practice a lot of things with the safety protocols of physical distancing and still carry on with the great work what we always do. So people out there, please make sure you go and help those volunteer organizations. There are a lot of seniors who are suffering from mental health because they've not seen bright light, they've not seen outdoors, they've not seen how the world has changed in the past 1 year. So if you go and share your story with them, if you go and just simply ask them, how are you doing? Even your friends, even your relatives, just that phone call, just that conversation, that takes you miles. I think people should do the basics and stick to basics rather than looking at just partying. Because if you go to see, everyone is there when you want to party. You invite people and they will be ready to come and party with you. But when it's these times when you're struggling, there are very few people who would even make that phone call and ask you how are you.
That is so true. Oh my gosh, that is so true. When you're doing good, you got tons of friends. When you're not doing good, you can find the friends. So that's why it's very important. And I learned from what you're saying, and what I am hearing is charity is not all about giving some money. Charity can include about just a phone call. Charity can include about just a smile. You don't know what that person that you're gonna meet in the store, what he or she is going through. Maybe just a kindness, giving that smile, it is viral. And if you're gonna smile on that person that you meet, Maybe that will like inspire him or her to said, "Oh my gosh, he is smiling. It's not too bad. Life is not too bad."
Absolutely.
And it like charity is just like if you're bored and you don't have a job, it's like what Francis said, go and volunteer. A lot of people need your help. And you know, you staying home by yourself, you're gonna be stressed, you're gonna be depressed, you don't want to be alone. And that's the time you get out, put yourself together, and go and make a difference. Because if you are feeling the way you're feeling, imagine how many people are feeling the same. And the best way that you can do is share your life for them. So I am super glad that I'm talking to you, Francis. But aside from those volunteering, I know that you do some sports too. You have some love of sports. Let's go back there and tell us a little bit about your outdoor sports. And I know you're helping a lot of people there too.
Well, I love playing soccer. I love team activities. Now, why team activities is because it gets the best out of you. It's like you can imply those in real life situation, handling a team and being together, planning strategies, getting a project forward. That's a team activity which I love doing. Next is I love hiking. I love biking. I feel the best way to see the world is through your feet or through your bike, rather than taking those luxurious trains and rather paying big fares and going to those hotels. The nature welcomes you when you're on foot, and literally you can stop by and literally you can admire God's creation, those creatures, the fauna, the flora, and that's a good feel factor which I get out of it.
Wow, that's great. I like that too. Yeah, and it's so true. Like sometimes I said, let's get out of the city. Like we are already like so close to the mountains. Let's go ahead and get out of the city. It is so true because when you're out there, it's like nothing like everything is so fascinating and everything is okay when you're out there and you really can communicate to the nature. And I love that way of looking at things. So thank you so much for sharing that. I want to say, let's go back and say hello to our viewers. We have Angel Bird in the Philippines, Alan Arana. Thank you so much for being with us. Zinky Smith, thank you. Alan Brian Mendros, thank you so much for watching. We really truly appreciate you guys for being here tonight. We know that there are things you want to do and places you want to go, but you choose to be with us tonight. So thank you guys so much to all our viewers around the world. So let's go back ahead. I know this, that Francis has something behind him. Tell me a little bit about that. I don't quite get it, but maybe you can kind of tell me about like there's this vote October 18th. So tell me what is your mission, Francis, and what is all about the voting behind you? There's a banner behind you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks, Angie. I'm glad you actually spotted that. It was there for quite some time, and the reason why it is there is it's about promoting what I love about. I've been volunteering. I've been giving back to the community, and my friends did tell me back last year is why don't you try in the public arena? Why don't you get into this public life? We thought about it a lot. It was putting your neck online because you do 100 good things or 99 good things. People will pick on that one bad thing or that bad judgment which you did. But nevertheless, what I thought is if I can make difference in people's lives, if I can help them as I have gone through this firsthand, why not? So we are looking at I did put my nomination for the upcoming municipal councillors election for Ward number 2 in Calgary, which has 12 communities, the community of Evanston, Nolan Hill, Sage Hill, Citadel, Hawkwood, Arbor Lake, Royal Oak, Royal Vista, and Hamptons. Sorry if I got all those 12 or probably one or two missing. Didn't say that together. But the main intention here is to get their voices heard. Now, when we talk about municipal government, we talk about policing, we talk about roads, we talk about schools, we talk about everything to do within the city. it does happen that a lot of our first generation immigrants do not talk about these subjects, but they have this thing within their heart that a government has not done enough, or we could not voice our opinions. So what I want people is not to be afraid. I've taken that step of advocating for people. Come to me with all your problems, and let's see if we can get solutions at a higher level from the city level, or probably take it even to the province, or probably take it to the federals. It's less like a drop in the ocean, but once that little bit of thing builds up, we can do wonders with it.
I love the fact that you are taking your passion from serving people, elevating life in so many different ways, and taking it to going to running for a counselor. And that is amazing. Well, congratulations. I really salute you for having that strength and the gut to do it, because not everyone is strong enough and brave enough to do it. And we pray for your courage to doing that and standing for the communities that you are being with. And that is amazing that people can count on you. And this is what a lot of people sometimes they don't bother to go voting. So they end up at the end, they end up like complaining, why this, not done this. And they didn't even bother going to vote. So tell us, what's now that you are going to be representing all these communities, what's the importance of us going to vote? Why do you think it's important?
Well, that's a great question. I would love to answer. Like historically speaking, the voter turnout in Calgary has been around about 30 to 35%, and that's bad. Which means out of every 100 people, only 35 people vote. I don't know why does that happen, because a lot of people take things for granted. It's like, oh, you know what, my opinion just doesn't matter. You know what, it's just one day of voting and not a big deal. But then what happens is we have to live with it for the next 4 years. So you have a choice which you can make, and it's a right which you have in accordance to the Constitution, is to vote for the person you like. And if you vote for the right person, if you're an informed voter, if you do your research just as how you would do when you buy a home, you look at the pros, you look at the cons, you look at what's in it for me and how that person can better advocate me, life would have been a very, very different thing. What I suggest is people should ask themselves a question: am I good 4 years back with the old government, or am I good at the present? And how do I need to be 4 years from now? How do I need my city to go? Like, we find a lot of racism, a lot of things currently happening in Calgary. We had the Black Lives Matter movement. We had the Asians who've been targeted for their ethnicity. The other day, just a week back, there were two Muslim people of ethnic minority basically targeted because of their culture. We live in a free country, we live in a free world, and the whole aspect of being Canadian is a multicultural, and all we need to do is embrace and adapt, which people don't realize. And if we don't get that right person out there to advocate for our rights, to get the things what have to be spoken at the city hall, trust me, it's just like watching a silent movie. And there are a lot of decisions which happen in these closed doors, and the person whom you elect is a representative and can influence that decision. So why not be responsible enough and take that step of getting the right person out there? We saw that in the US elections. We had President Trump and we had Joe Biden. So you had two different people from two different walks of life, but in the end, democracy prevailed because people came out there and they voted. So that's what the whole intent is, for people to come out and vote for the right person they need.
That is so right. So you're saying that be that change you want to see the community. Be the change and be part of that change and be part of the chains of whatever you want to change. So that is so right. You need to ask yourself, if I want this society, this country to change, what will be the best thing I can do? And the best thing that we can do is be part on the decision making on who you're going to sit in there and who can help us change the way it's supposed to run. So if you are not going to vote, then you're not part of that. Then you have no gut to complain because you
Absolutely.
didn't in like going to vote. Like I personally, my husband, I really admire him for that because he is very into it. Like, I said, oh, I have no time, I have some appointment. No, 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 like few minutes, let's go and drag me to the voting place. And that's what it is. And I am proud. I said, I'm part of that change. I'm part of whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Your candidate will win or will not win. Like, as long as you did your part, you did your part. So that's why you need to be part of that change that we're talking about. So that is amazing. How do you see your like being a candidate? What do you want to see change in the community, and how you want to be part of that?
Well, I feel elected officials should be public servants, but generally it doesn't work that way. And I believe that communication is very critical. Like even in these times of pandemic, there's been very least communication which has gone through from our city councillors. And there have been seldom times when the city councillor has actually gone to people's homes and asked them, "Are you okay? Do you need some help? How can I help you?" So they call it a person-centered approach rather than thinking what I need to do. You should think, what do my people need out of me? Very simple example is public transport. I still do rely on public transport, and when I was an immigrant, I heavily relied on public transport. So staying in Calgary with minus 40 and sub-zero temperatures, staying out there, you don't have direct connections. It takes you a lot of time to get from point A to point B. I think it's very critical. We have to voice these things. We have to make life easy for people. That's what I intend to do. And since I know people from grassroots level, I came exactly from where they came from. I can resonate with them. I can actually think what goes into their mind. So it would be easy for me to make those decisions on their behalf. And lastly, I want it to be a people's democracy where they tell me what they need, and we take it and all loud and strong at the city hall and advocate for their rights.
You have experience, you live the life, and you have journey along the way with all these people, so you know what they need because you've been there. So it might be easier also for you to respond to their needs because you know exactly what had happened in the very beginning of you when you're starting here in Canada. So for immigrants, maybe there are ways to be helping these people, and so that they will have that courage, and at the same time they won't be afraid to really voice what they need. And a lot of people are sometimes being intimidated. And of course, if as you have said, this country is so, there are so many different nationalities that all come together. And of course, every single community, or every single um, every single one of us have our own different needs. So to put them all together, you need to find the main purpose of being a leader, and that's what you develop in voicing it out there. So it might be a great idea, and I know that you are always willing and ready, going extra mile to be helping these people out, and we wish you all the best in everything. And it's been always a pleasure to be knowing people like you who have that courage to serve people in their ability in everything that they have. And it's great that people can relate with your story, can relate with you. And maybe they're just even saying, they said, oh my gosh, like, if Francis is going through all these things and here he is right now, maybe they're even going to be inspired to really keep going, moving forward, and pursuing their dreams, so whatever they want in life. So all of us came here in this beautiful, wonderful country. As you said, we are free to do the things that we need to do in order for us to serve the people also back home, working hard in here, bringing and sending the money back to our country. And this country have given us, Canada have given us that opportunity to be better and really reach the top if we wish to. So that is amazing. I really admire you for doing that. But I wanted to do a shout out to my good friend Angelica Christie. Hello, how are you from Bahamas? I hope you're doing well, and we want you back into the show. So hopefully you're gonna be back again soon. So any more last message to our viewers? We're coming to the end of the hour. Before we end the show, is there any message to our viewers?
Well, it's rightly said, as you sow, so shall you reap. So everything starts with a strong foundation. I would recommend everyone to have that solid foundation. The big thing which inspires me is the tallest tower in the world. It's in Dubai. It's called the Burj Khalifa. And why it inspires me? Because it's got a strong foundation which actually retains the whole structure and managed to get it on the books saying it's the tallest tower in the world. So that's what you need to do, guys. There's no shortcuts to success. Work hard, bring forward that foundation which you could create, and that's the only way which will excel you to the top.
That is amazing. Well, thank you so much for that. That is powerful. And also, guys, if you're going through storm in your lives, guess what? I have this wonderful saying in my mind that if there is a storm, you know what a lot of eagles does? They soar higher, and to escape the storm, they need to be higher in the sky to skip the storms. And you know what, guys? That's what we're gonna do. So if you're feeling that there's a storm and it seems that it's so chaos where we are at right now, guess what? Soar higher. Lift your wings and go up higher like the eagles. And you're gonna escape all those storms in life. The only way that you can really see the change is when a person get pinned down into the wall, that there's no more place to go than forward. So be that person. Keep moving forward. Be inspired with Francis' experiences and journey. It's not who we are right now. It's who we gonna become. So keep going, guys. Whatever it is that's going on right now in our lives, always have faith and always have hope. And we want to thank you, all our viewers around the world. Keep sharing what we are doing, keep sharing our shows, because we don't know who we're going to inspire. And with your help, we know we can reach a lot more. So we want to thank you, Francis, for your presence tonight and all those great ideas, knowledge, and wisdom that you have, that you imparted to our viewers tonight. And we wish you all the best. And we're going to be there behind you, helping you out as you help a lot of people more. So thank you very much to all our viewers, and we will see you again next Saturday, the same time at 8 p.m. Be blessed and have faith. We love you guys. Good night and say bye. Thank you so much.